Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Dawen and Baikaluo, why haven't they reported back after so long? Within the virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island, within a luxurious villa's guest room, dressed in a long robe, Shan creased his eyebrows, blinking his red eyes and stared at the screen, serious and severe as he said, "Contact them one more time for me." "Yes, master." The fist-size AI helper on Shan's shoulder shouted out loudly and clearly, not right. Something's up. I'm trying to contact them, they wouldn't dare not answer my call invite. Shan's eyes were filled with shock and fear. Unless, that's impossible, with Baikaluo's strength, the two of them shouldn't have met with any trouble at all. Shan shook his head, definitely not. Waiting in the virtual universe, for any news at all from Dawen or Baikaluo, Shan began to suspect that something must have happened. However, he had too much confidence in his most exceptional disciple Baikaluo. Against Earth, this level of simplicity, he shouldn't have met any trouble at all. Minutes and seconds passed. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Shan's expression grew uglier by the minute. He initially still held on to hope. However, after 2 hours had passed and he hadn't received any news from his disciples. It was clear that something had happened. Shan growled from deep within his throat, violently waving his hand, knocking the wine glass on the table in front of him away, the pots and cups flying in all directions, either smashing against the walls or on the outer round, even on the chairs, basically breaking apart loudly all over Luo phone. Shan's eyes grew cold. He bit down hard, squeezing out 2 words from within, "You are vicious," to actually be able to get a universe level 9 or even a domain lord to help you. Shan's gaze was cold, clenching his fists so tight, his fingers were jabbing at his palm. This loss was tragic. 1. He lost 2 important members of his family, Dawen and Baikaluo. 2. He was clear that if the opponent could easily deal with Baikaluo, then he, Shan, would have no hope of acquiring the treasures of Earth anymore. To be able to deal with Baikaluo, the opponent must at least be a universe level 9. And a universe level 9 can totally be able to take away that automaton ship. Shan pondered in rage. Even if I spend 3 years of time and reach Earth, it most probably will be just a waste of time. And what's more, on Earth, there's that thing, solar system, Mars. When Shan was thinking of Baikaluo being killed off, gritting his teeth in rage, "Do not resist." A booming rumbling voice reverberated across the sand. The golden horned beast's enormous body was lying there, its head high and huge like a mountain, gazed down at the little Baikaluo. Yes. Baikaluo stood respectfully there. The golden horned beast began to unleash the Yun-Mo planet slave soul imprint. Gradually, a transparent liquid, almost like a droplet, flew out from the left eye of the beast, swiftly descending downwards. This crystal-like droplet, if one examined it carefully, would discover that there were complex prints within it, floating within the center of the drop, Kai. The droplet entered Baikaluo's forehead. It immediately seeped in and entered deep within Baikaluo's consciousness. Within his consciousness. This was a vast miniature galaxy. It was the place where Baikaluo's soul resided. This mini-galaxy was continuously revolving, and the 8 arms of the galaxy similarly spiraled outwards. A drop of water suddenly appeared and immediately entered into the galaxy. A silver sparkling and translucent beam of light swiftly entered and permeated in. Everything happened naturally. After about half an hour, standing in the desert, Baikaluo opened his eyes and looked at the golden horned beast, his gaze filled with a sense of idolization and worship from within his soul. "Master." Baikaluo bowed. The golden horned beast's eyes too had a slight darkening in its eyes. Using the slave soul imprint was akin to cutting off a small piece of its own soul. The damage was huge. Rumble. The golden horned beast vanished and Luo Feng appeared. The slave soul imprint is indeed mysterious. Luo Feng looked at the sword clan Baikaluo before him, clearly feeling his sense of worship from deep within his soul, almost as though he was looking at his king. For the teacher to be able to create this slave soul imprint is really impressive. "Di Fan, Baikaluo, let's go, return to Earth." Luo Feng said, "Yes, master." Di Fan and Baikaluo replied respectfully simultaneously. The black disc-shaped universe ship was heading back to Earth from Mars. Within the ship's control room, Luo Feng and his 2 slaves were conversing. "Master, all the AI and quantum computers from the debris have been brought over." Baikaluo said respectfully, "There definitely won't be any leakage of the scene of the golden horned beast revealing its body." "Okay." Luo Feng nodded. Caution and prudence was the utmost importance. The secret of the golden horned beast indeed couldn't be leaked out. Baikaluo, just what trump card does that Shan have, and what does he know about Earth? Luo Feng asked, trump card? Baikaluo shook his head, that Nuolan Shan doesn't have any trump card at all. The entire foundation of the family is shallow, except for Nuolan Shan himself as the pillar. The family doesn't have any big powers at all. This time he sent a Wen and I over. One was to grab the automaton ship and two was to kill you. That bastard, actually thinking of killing Master, he deserves death. Baikaluo's words were filled with killing intent for Nuolan Shan. The slave's soul imprint had altered his consciousness and his worship for his master was from within his soul. His master's life was the most important thing to him. Hence for Nuolan Shan to try and kill Luo Feng, the current Baikaluo was filled with intense hatred from within. That Nuolan Shan is only a little clown. Luo Feng laughed. Right, you talked about the automaton ship earlier? Luo Feng's eyes lit up. These 2 years, he had almost completely immersed himself in comprehending the universe origin laws. Comprehending these laws wasn't necessarily tedious, it was actually akin to a mother's hug when one was an infant, a very comforting feeling on the soul. 2 years spent immersed in deep training had caused Luo Feng to forget about that automaton ship sitting in the Bermuda area of Earth, right? That Nuolan Shan has been harping on about that automaton ship since before. That ship is definitely worth much more than his entire fortune. Baikaluo said respectfully, Luo Feng laughed, Babata. Luo Feng shouted, the ship will not return to home yet, we'll head over to the Bermuda area. It's time we took that automaton ship, understood? The little devil shouted excitedly. The universe ship pierced through the Earth's atmosphere, immediately heading to the Bermuda Ocean, after which the universe ship vanished and Luo Feng and his 2 slaves became 3 beams of light flying into the ocean. Within the cold sea waters, there was an enormous white silhouette. Luo Feng flew closer. Floating in the ocean, the enormous white pyramid reached a shocking height of 200 m, larger than any skyscraper on Earth. Luo Feng could clearly feel that the floating pyramid slightly warped the surroundings. Automaton universe ship. Di Fan's eyes gleamed. This is my first time actually seeing an automaton universe ship in reality. Baikaluo too was shocked. The automaton race's technology is too advanced. From the appearance, it's hard to tell what grade this ship is. The technology of the humans of the universe was far from that of the automaton race. The human-constructed universe ships could easily be determined by grade, and a scan would also easily tell what metal or alloy it was built from. However, with the automaton alloys, humans were completely unable to detect the grade from the outside. However, according to what Nuolan Shan told me, this automaton ship is at least a D grade. Baikaluo pointed at the huge pyramid, the triangular pathway. That pathway's defense should be at the C grade too. The lowest grade of this kind of universe ship is D, hence its price is extremely expensive. Many domain lords can't even afford it. Di Fan looked shocked at Baikaluo. That expensive? You can't just look at its appearance. And that's on D grade. If it were E grade, that would be too shocking. It'll definitely be even crazier than the treasures from the world within a world that shook the entire Black Dragon Mountain Empire starfield. Baikaluo shook his head. However, the chances of it being an E grade is too low. It's an E grade. Luo Feng said, Master. Di Fan and Baikaluo both turned shocked. Di Fan couldn't help but ask, Master, it's completely impossible to tell the grade from its appearance. It's an E grade. I'm very sure. Luo Feng looked at the huge pyramid before him, before turning to looking at his 2 slaves. You two, what grades are your armors? Master, I'm wearing an inner level 3 genetic armor, outside a D3 grade alloy armor. Di Fan said respectfully, I'm wearing an inner level 3 genetic armor, outside a D5 alloy armor. Baikaluo said respectfully. Luo Feng nodded. Genetic armors were similar to the Black God sets from back then, it could easily cover one's body. However, the defensive abilities of the genetic armor was related to the level of the genetic energy. The stronger the genetic energy, the stronger the defense of the armor. These genetic armors were extremely expensive, similar to genetic energy weapons. The alloy armors were alloys outside, their skill tolerance was very low, just like a huge shield. The prices were cheap, the only drawback was the alloy armors had many openings, not able to protect the body 100% completely. Baikaluo, how about you enter the automaton ship? Luo Feng ordered, this is an AI chip, enter the control room and insert it there. Yes, Master. Baikaluo respectfully received the chip and flew straight towards the pathway. Within the automaton ship pathway, 3 colored lasers immediately shot out. However, Baikaluo's speed didn't seem to slow down at all, rushing in straight ahead. The automaton ship. Luo Feng looked at the pyramid ship before him, exclaiming within, this ship's owner was that automaton undying fighter. Automaton undying. Luo Feng felt pressure. Undying. The word itself represented the absolute peak. An undying being alone was enough to topple the entire Black Dragon Mountain star field. One punch alone from an undying being could destroy an entire planet. And with a physical body capable of reaching light speed and traveling through universes. Even interuniversal travel between the actual universe or the dark universe was as easy as having a meal. Barbata, would we have any difficulty taking control of a ship owned by an undying? Luo Feng asked. Undying beings shouldn't let others take their ships so easily, right? But of course, just like the Yunmo planet ship, if I controlled and shut the door forcefully, even sector lords would be unable to barge into the Yunmo planet ship. Barbata said, as for that automaton ship, it'll just be up to your person and luck. Because automaton undying are different from other races of undying. Different? Luo Feng, right? Luo Feng, let me ask you, what do people normally use to control the ships? Barbata asked. AI? Luo Feng smiled, right, AI. Your teacher used me to control the Yunmo planet ship, however the automaton race, every one of them is a living AI. More advanced than any AIS about. As for the most powerful of them, the automaton undying, that's something even more powerful than someone like me, a living AI. Barbata said, what do you think he'll even need an AI for in a ship? You mean? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. For automaton undying, riding in a ship only require a trillionth of their processing ability to be able to perfectly control a universe ship. Barbata said, hence the automaton undying usually don't even need an AI specifically to control the ships, they can easily handle it themselves, but he's dead. So there's no one to control this automaton ship anymore. Now it's just up to your luck. If this automaton ship has any lockdown gates or doors from the entrance to the control room and is hard to open, then that'll be troublesome. If there are no blocked passages, then that's lucky. Barbata said. Luo Feng couldn't help but hold his breath. Luo Feng and Di Fan, a master and his slave, stood in the deep sea, patiently looking at the huge pyramid ship. Waiting. About 5 minutes later, Master, success. A thought was communicated over. That's great. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. My auxiliary AI can begin hacking into the control system of the ship. Oh, hacking success. Cutting power to the cabin door. Success. Barbata cheered. Luo Feng, let's go. We can enter into the ship now without any worry about the pathway's defenses. I've already cut off the power. Di Fan, let's go. Luo Feng ordered, flying first into the entrance of the pyramid ship. Entering through the passageway, that area belonged to the lower level of the entire pyramid. The passageway was quite spacious, as it was 10 meters wide. With an alloy armor outside and cloud contact vine armor within, Luo Feng's defense was completely solid. With but a thought, a long vine extended into the passageway. It's completely safe. Luo Feng flew in and Di Fan followed beside him. What a unique layout. Luo Feng entered the ship and was shocked upon his discovery. The entire layout of the pyramid ship was completely different from a human race's universe ship. Within this ship, there was one main pathway, spiraling upwards in a single helix. Almost like a mountain path going up. The spiraling pathway was 30 meters wide, spiraling up the center of the pyramid. The pyramid ship's control room was located in the center about 800 meters from the bottom. The control room itself was circular, the floors were sparkling and translucent, altogether beautifully made. There actually was no control board in the room, only a large floating crystal ball in the center. Master. Baikalo looked at Luo Feng. Well done. Luo Feng smiled. Barbata, check this ship. Luo Feng shouted, yes, energy shields, perfect condition. Damn, the energy shield levels are actually this high. Even if we don't rely on the ship for defense, just the shields alone can block an E9 grade attack. This means, if one didn't reach the undying level, they couldn't even break past one level of the energy shields. Barbata's voice resounded across the control room. Luo Feng, Di Fan, and Baikalo were all shocked. Just the energy shields alone were this extreme. Just whose ship is this? Who was the original owner of this ship? Baikalo couldn't help but ask. It's too crazy. Even the E9 grade ships in the universe aren't this extreme. Its owner was an undying. Luo Feng said, an automaton undying. Baikalo and Di Fan's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Undying? And an automaton undying at that? Any undying was extremely valuable. And the automaton represented the most technologically advanced race in the entire universe. If an automaton undying were to control this ship to its fullest, the transformation would be extremely terrifying. Offensive weapons, perfect condition. Damn, it's really crazy. This automaton ship's technological weapons are even crazier than your teacher's ship, indeed worthy of the name automaton ship. The ship of an automaton undying, it's simply too luxurious, it's pure madness. It actually has 3-star Master Grade Star Annihilator cannons and 9 E3 grade laser cannons. Luo Feng was stunned. Star Annihilator cannons? The legendary technological weapons, the Star Annihilator cannons, were unrivaled. As the name spoke for itself, just one shot could destroy an entire planet. In terms of power, it could compete with an Undying altogether. Of course, the Star Annihilator cannon had its flaws. First one was that its attack radius was huge. It couldn't concentrate its attack on a single point like an Undying. Second was that it consumed a shocking amount of energy. However, despite its weakness, it couldn't diminish the human race's longing for such a weapon. Movement systems, perfect condition. Luo Feng, you've struck lottery. This automaton ship's movement system is completely sick. It's no wonder the entire layout of the passageway was a spiraling pathway. Actually, the entire core of the automaton ship seems to be a huge movement system. A 200-meter tall ship, over 2/3 of it is a movement system. Sick. This ship's momentary acceleration, dodging and other movements definitely aren't lousier than your teacher's Yunmo planet ship. I'm dizzy. According to the data from this ship, the ship's main body's alloy reaches E grade. It even has self-repairing functions. Along with the energy shield, it definitely belongs to the pinnacle of E grade ships. Plus, its movement is extremely shocking, making it incredibly valuable, and this is without including the cost of the Star Annihilator. Luo Feng, you've truly struck it big this time. Just this automaton ship alone is more valuable than all the treasures in the world within a world put together. Barbata said. Expensive? Luo Feng, who was within the round control room, however, wasn't as excited as he was when they first began. His expression was that of suspicion. Even though it's expensive, no matter how expensive it is, it's still only an E-grade ship, compared to the Yunmo planet F9 grade ship. Normal domain lords use D-grade ships, sector lords use E-grade ships. This Undying should be using an F grade. And this ship is only at the pinnacle of E grade. It shouldn't be that crazy, right? Wrong, completely wrong. Barbata shouted. Master, it's not like that. Bai Carlo said. Luo Feng was suspicious. Beside him, Di Fan was dumbfounded too. Luo Feng, when you go out, don't ever mention that you are a disciple of the Yunmo planet. It's a total disgrace to your teacher's face. Actually saying such stupid things. That Di Fan, who was a slave before, never mind that he's stupid. But you, after reading so many books, learning so much about the universe and common knowledge, however, you missed out on such an important piece of information. Barbata began to criticize him. Where was I wrong? Luo Feng cut in while Barbata was speaking. Firstly, human universe ships, the only reason why they aren't that expensive is because they are made from alloys. A pure metal ship is viewed as a luxurious item. Hence, alloy ships are the way to go. This you know, right? Barbata said. I understand, alloys are cheap, but cost-effective. Luo Feng nodded. Within the same C5 grade, the alloys were cheaper by at least 100 times to the pure metal. However, within the entire universe, the strongest alloy is only E9 grade. Whether it is the human race or the even more advanced automaton race, the strongest alloy constructed is only E9 grade. Hence, to actually build a F-grade universe ship, one can only use pure metals, like your teacher used the hybrid copper essence. This is because there are simply no F-grade alloys. F-grade pure metals are extremely rare. Take the hybrid copper essence, for example. There may be occasional veins of ore for the hybrid copper, but after digging them up, the amount of hybrid copper essence may only amount to a palm's worth, maybe 1 or 2 tons. One vein of ore may result in only a palm's worth. To actually collect enough to build a 800-meter diameter universe ship, that's simply an unbelievable thing to do. Even if you sold off the entire Black Dragon Mountain star field, you wouldn't even be close to having enough money. Hence, even among undying beings, the majority of them cannot afford to make one. Undying beings, most of them only use the pinnacle of E-grade ships. Barbata said, and the difference between the E-grade ships of the Undying and Sector Lords is the size, and with the bigger size one needs a stronger and more powerful engine, allowing it to have greater mobility, 100-meter long and 1,000-meter long. The difference in size, if it were a 1,000 times, the price difference will be a 1,000 times too. That is the main difference between undying beings with E-grade ships compared to Sector Lords with E-grade ships. Your teacher was an absolute warrior even amongst the undying, hence he could afford to build the Yunmo planet ship. Even so, he still spent a large amount of his wealth along with countless treasures to acquire it. Barbata said, and this automaton undying, this ship that he used, is even more advanced than many human undyings. The main thing is that its mobility is off the charts. I'll give you an estimate. A normal Sector Lords E-grade ships would cost about $1 trillion universe dollars, which is about one mixed element, and a pinnacle E-grade ship used by undying would be normally valued at few hundred trillion universe dollars, which is equivalent to a few hundred mixed elements. This pinnacle E-grade Ship, a 200-meter tall automaton ship, is worth about 1 to 2,000 mixed element units, and the treasures you acquired from the world within a world before, all added together would only add up to about 11 mixed element units. Hence, I said all the treasures in the world within a world added together don't even compare to this automaton Undying's ship. Only an accurate appraisal could clearly express just how valuable this automaton ship was. Barbata had calculated earlier that the entire wealth of treasures in the world within a world was priced at about 200 mixed elements, comparable to a poor Undying. And this automaton ship alone was worth about 1 to 2,000 mixed elements, my god. By Carlo's eyes stared wide. His dream was to have his name engraved in the Sword Clan temple. Only after becoming a sector lord will he be able to do so. Even a sector lord wouldn't be able to buy this ship. Just how many universe-level slaves can you buy with this? Di Fan opened his mouth wide, looking silly. They were utterly flabbergasted. The two universe-level warriors had totally lost it. Such a valuable automaton ship, enough to even make the Undying vie for, enough to make the sector lords go crazy for, much less the domain lords and universe levels. Just the ship Star Annihilator was enough to make a medium-level civilization become interested. This was definitely a mass-killing weapon that could be used to intimidate and threaten. Luo Feng, you must never divulge any information about this automaton ship. Barbata said, it's just like the Yunmo planet ship you have, this ship too belongs to one of the things you must never leak out. Of course, it's impossible to determine its grade and true value just from its appearance. Most people would think that it's a D-grade automaton ship. However, you are only a star level, using a D-grade automaton ship would just invite trouble. Hence, the greatest use this ship has to you is, 1. It can protect your life in dangerous situations. While hiding in this ship, even Sector Lord Pinnacle level warriors won't be able to break through. You can ride it and escape. 2. Killing your enemies. You can use the 3-star Annihilators or the 9E3 grade laser cannons to kill your enemies. Especially when combined with the mobility of the automaton ship, you can swiftly approach your enemies and withdraw as you please. While relying on the 9 laser cannons to attack, even domain lords will definitely die. 3. Sell. You can sell the entire ship. The first and second options have their flaws. The moment you use it, others will know that you have an E-grade automaton ship. That would easily attract the attention of sector lords and even Undying. Hence you shouldn't use it, but the moment you do, you have to kill all the enemies, leaving none behind. If you want to sell it, there's no problem, you can sell it through your teacher's 5-star account service. However, the moment you sell it, if you want to buy it back, it'll be difficult, extremely difficult. That's because an automaton ship with star annihilators can easily enter a mid-level auction to be sold. And the mid-level auction's lowest requirement is to be a 4-star client. Luo Feng, even if you sell the ship, you still wouldn't be a 4-star client. The lowest requirement for the 4-star grade is to have 10,000 mixed elements. The people are mostly comprised of Undying or a few large powers. Hence, the moment you sell it, within a short time span, you wouldn't be able to get it back. Barbata said. Luo Feng understood. This ship may be valuable, however for it to actually be worth 1/10 of an Undying's wealth was already considered not bad. Undying beings require money for weapons, armors, treasures, manuals, etc. Even after selling the ship, Luo Feng would still be unable to become a 4-star client. I won't sell it. I'm not lacking in money right now. Luo Feng laughed. After all, this is hot property. It'll be easy to sell anytime, and it'll act as a trump card in my back pocket. The 9 laser cannons along with the ship's mobility, even domain lords would definitely die. Hiding in it, even the pinnacle of sector lords can't break it open. When I actually lack money, then I'll sell it. Luo Feng's eyes suddenly gleamed. Barbata, can we detach the ship's star annihilator? Since there are 3 of them, selling 2 off would be okay. You wish. This automaton ship's construction work is too exquisite. The entire ship is a perfect whole body, even the star annihilator. The laser cannons have been fused within the ship, detaching it, in your dreams. Even though the material isn't like the Yunmo planet ship, the work and craftsmanship on it is of a much higher value than the Yunmo planet ship. The Yunmo planet ship's strongest point is mainly its material and its incomparably sharp edges. Once it accelerates, it can slice through planets and even sector lords like vegetables. As for its construction and craftsmanship, it's definitely lower, so it seems that I can't detach it. It's not a big deal. After all, I currently have enough money. Luo Feng laughed. Barbata, keep this pyramid ship in your storage space. Let's return home. Even though he had acquired the automaton ship, it was still of no use to him at the moment. This was because the moment he uses it, the information would be leaked, hence the automaton ship was similar to the Yunmo planet ship. Luo Feng very clearly knew they were valuable, but he could only store it in Barbata's storage space. At least the pyramid ship is in perfect condition and undamaged. Even though the Yunmo planet ship is much more expensive than the pyramid, it is damaged and unusable. Luo Feng muttered as he flew from the Bermuda Ocean towards the Asia continent. Behind him Di Fan and Bai Carlo exchanged glances. This master. He leaves others completely speechless. The pyramid ship, even amongst the undying ships, was considered not bad. Even the Yunmo planet ship was something many undying wouldn't be able to afford. An F-grade ship was incomparably expensive, much less an F9. Having such a powerful teacher is good. Di Fan looked at Bai Carlo, communicating. Bai Carlo, why do you cherish your Nuolan-Shan teacher so much? A universe level 9 teacher, there's no future in that. Look at my master who's so powerful. His teacher was an undying, and a powerful one amongst the others. And, he's dead. A dead teacher passes all his wealth to master. If his teacher was alive, master probably wouldn't be able to get much. Di Fan communicated. Bai Carlo shot a stare at Di Fan and said, get lost. Days passed. Back then the surveillance system had already detected movement from the wormhole in the dead space. The first was a D3 grade ship from the Nuolan-Shan family, the second was a D1 grade ship and the third was a C8 grade ship. After Luo Feng had dealt with the Nuolan-Shan army and acquired the pyramid ship, not long after. China year 2065, November 12th, the second D1 grade universe ship arrived on Earth. Space outside Earth. Dressed in armor, the bald Di Fan stood in space, watching the dark purple disc-shaped universe ship approaching. Sir, how are you? We are from the Portali family from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. From the ship flew out 12 star level humans, of which 10 were star level 9s and 2 were star level 3 and 5. The star level 5 was a tall and sturdy youth. Portali family, one of the 16 big families of the Black Dragon Mountain family. Portali family? HPMH, right now Earth falls under the protection of 3-Axe Mountain, forbidding any visitors. Di Fan's voice resonated via spirit reading energy to the 12 of them. 3-Axe Mountain. The tall and sturdy youth's expression changed. 3-Axe Mountain was one of the 4 large organizations. Even the 2 sacred lands had to be courteous to them. If you barge into Earth, don't blame me for being disrespectful. Di Fan roared loudly, after which he turned and flew back immediately. And in space, the 12 exchanged glances. Lord, what do we do? What can we do? The tall and sturdy youth grit his teeth and ordered. They sent out only one person, and he's a universe level 9. Do we go in and commit suicide? The universe ship could only leave dejected. The same method was used on the C8 grade universe ship 6 days later, which was also scared away by Di Fan. After all, these 2 ships were scout teams from 2 different families. Who would dare mess with a universe level 9? After scaring away those 2 ships, Luo Feng's life became incredibly peaceful. However, he was awaiting that crucial date, December 16th. Kia year 2065 December 16th was the triennial Ganwu auction date. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain 9-star Bay. Within the tea room, Luo Feng sat in a chair, lifting a glass cup filled with an amber-colored tea. Tomorrow is the Ganwu auction. The lowest requirement for the auction is a 3-star client. Luo Feng gently sniffed the tea. However, my account already has less than 10 mixed elements because of the recent expenses, which is lower than the requirement to become a 3-star client. Is the invitation sent to me by the Ganwu auction still valid? Luo Feng, your thinking is wrong. Your account reached 11 trillion universe dollars before, 11 mixed elements, thus becoming a 3-star client. Right now you've used up quite a bit. Just because you have less money now, you think your account will get degraded from being a 3-star client. For several wealthy owners, their assets and capital get cycled very regularly. One day they may have 200 mixed elements, becoming a 3-star client, and another they might use everything until they only have 1 mixed element left. The following day, others might transfer 300 mixed elements in. Will these large wealthy people change constantly from 3-star clients to 2 stars? Luo Feng was stunned. Usage is normal. Like your teacher, for the Yunmo planet ship back then, he had almost used up everything. And sometimes just by selling a few treasures, the amount in his account would fly again, sometimes empty, sometimes full. Barbata laughed. The bank won't easily degrade an account. Only if your account has stayed short of funds for a long period of time will they degrade it. Barbata said, the higher the level of account, this low period will be longer. Like a 5-star client, even if the money inside has been emptied, within 100 million years, their grade will not be dropped. Luo Feng laughed and nodded. That made sense. Sipping his tea, Luo Feng was looking forward to the auction. The triennial Gunwu auction would gather countless sector lords, even undying from all of the Gunwu universe country, and the lowest requirement was a 3-star client. Various items that would otherwise be hard or impossible to purchase, including scent-level items, would appear there. After purchasing the nutrition cabin, the D5 grade laser, treasures required for the deity of the world training, and usage of about 5 mixed elements, also giving 2 mixed elements to my brother Luo He to invest. Right now, I only have about 4 trillion universe dollars left. Luo Feng thought, I wonder if I can actually afford anything tomorrow. I'll return and ask my brother to see how his investments have been doing these 2 years. Luo Feng thought. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.